Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Downtime with Downstar, episode 208. And today we are here with Sone from S1 Bill. Sone, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. Excited to have you here, bro. Your name is buzzing in these streets.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, man.
It's actually an honor.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. You know, the best thing about the podcast is I can see a brand or a company that's coming out and, you know, they're making waves in the community, and then I could just have them on and pick their brain, man. So I really don't know much about you, which is the exciting part, because we're going to take an education today, man. So if you can, before we get started, just give us a small breakdown of who you are and what you do.
All right. I guess where I start. Sone, originally from San Diego, California. I grew up there way before the street racing scene and all that, back in the late 80s, early 90s. And then, was it 96 when I joined the military? I left for a little bit, and then left a little bit, went back to San Diego for a little bit in '07, '08. Stayed there for a couple of years, and then decided to move back to Florida for been here for about 10 years now again.
Got you. Now
Yeah.
your company S1, they the focus is on all-wheel drive kits.
Yeah, all-wheel drive. Basically, just that's where we started. But we started doing like builds and stuff like that. We used to start off. We were doing like right-hand side conversions and stuff like that. We were like pretty one of the first one here, in this area, doing that way back in the day. We like to clean build.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about speed and all that, because that was like my early days back in SoCal, back in the early 90s,
Yeah.
But I wanted like nice clean build and all that. We started doing that, and then we started doing all-wheel drive on one of the cars, and I kind of got sick, and then kind of stopped, and then came back, and someone basically challenged me, saying that it couldn't be done. So, and I took that challenge and looked at a couple pieces and stuff like that, and said, "There it is, done." So from there, it just kept going. We did the first, like, basically it was kind of like a mock-up
Mm-hmm.
work, and then people seen it online. They were like, all the people started hitting me up, and I was like, you know what? Let's just run with it. So
Very cool, man. So you say you're in Florida now?
yeah, I'm in Florida.
What area?
Clearwater.
Clearwater. Okay. How far is that from, say, Orlando area?
It's on the other side. We're like right below Tampa, so it's like
Oh, got you.
about an hour and a half. You can get to Orlando.
Got you. So you actually got challenged to do an all-wheel drive kit?
Well, someone said it couldn't be done.
Got
So
you.
someone told me it couldn't be done. We sat here. It was like I still remember a bunch of us sat here, and because I went did some machining work and stuff like that back in the day. So I was like, I looked at the pieces. We broke it down. I was like, all right, I got it. So, and from there, and that's exactly how it began. And we started making it, and then we just started like trying to find a better way to do it, a faster way to do it, and more just more cost efficient and all that. And then from there, it just took off.
Yeah. So when was this when you decided to do that first trial kit?
I'm gonna say that's about two and a half, 3 years, about 3 years, close to 3 years now.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. So yeah, let's take it back a little bit to San Diego days. So what was it like in the streets of San Diego, late '80s, early '90s?
Oh, it was crazy. I started off like I don't know, if you only remember like Highland Avenue in San Diego,
Hmm.
the lowrider scene was crazy. You got all of them. It was crazy. I mean, like the street racing ain't nothing compared to like the lowrider scene back in those days. You got basically the whole strip of Highland. You're talking about 10 mile long, and it's just all packed. When I'm talking about packed, imagine just going like down like Crenshaw and all that, and nothing but cars and cars. People used to come down from like you know Frisco, LA, Arizona. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what started. And then probably like in the late '80s is when we got into me and a couple friends and all that. We started to getting into more of the imports and stuff like that, And from there, it just never stops.
nice, man. Did you ever come to any of the races a little more up north, like Ontario area and in the Valley in LA?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was a thing back then. It was the LA guys and all that against the San Diego. It was like always a competition.
Yeah,
Come up here, we go up there. So it was some fun times.
I bet, man. So, in the LA area, I'm pretty familiar with the Honda guys and the OG guys. Back in San Diego, were you guys focusing on Hondas, or was it just imports in general?
It was well. I started off with like BMWs. I was into like BMWs. I wasn't really into Toyotas. I got friends that was big into the Toyotas before all that. Um, so that, and then really, what really got me like pretty much hyped with the Honda was there was this myth or whatever saying that there was this CRX. It was supposed to be like super fast. This is like when it first came out. It's supposed to be the super fast CRX, and it's a yellow CRX. And I was like, yeah, yeah, right. It's Honda. I'm talking about that's when it first, like back then for us, it was like new.
Yeah.
So, and I actually seen it fly past me. Like I was going up on 805, and that thing just flew past me. Like I was in my Corolla at the time, and then right behind it, it was like a Corvette chasing it down, and the CRX was fast. I mean, it was going, going. I was like, damn. And then I was like, that's the one that everybody's been talking about. And then there was also right behind the Corvette, there was a Volkswagen, um, and it was just chasing each other down. I was like, oh, that's the one. And then finally, like 2 weeks later, I actually seen that car. It was at a shop. I was like, man, that was the car, and that's when I was like, okay, and that's when the whole Honda thing for me started. And
Yeah.
then all the friends and all that. So,
So, how deep were you into the Honda community in San Diego?
um, it wasn't like back then. It was. It's not like how it is now. It wasn't that big group of Hondas and stuff like that. It was mostly like imports. A lot of guys did like Stereons, the Toyotas. What is it? Even like the Mazdas. Like different. So it didn't really blow up like when I was growing up until maybe like maybe like early 90s when
Mm-hmm.
I started to pretty much like almost went in the when my days when it was almost I was going in the military.
Yeah.
Kind of like kind of got out for a little bit because when I joined the military, I was doing stuff not in Cal, but in Fort Polk, Louisiana, with some guys there and all that. But I kind of left. But I remember in those days, you could have 3,000 cars on the street and I was going to do nothing until the gangs got involved.
Yeah, that's what I always hear from a lot of these OGs out here in SoCal, man, is that it
It was
was
fun.
it was a lot of gang activity at these races.
Well, in the beginning, there wasn't. There
Mm-hmm.
was near like you could race all night long down in Mira Mesa, down in San Diego, Sorrento Valley, and all that. Everything they used to race all night long, and nothing until like I said, the gangs and the shooting, and the next thing you know, and that's when it just went to they pretty much
Yeah.
just yeah.
So did you keep on messing with cars until you went to the military?
Oh, I still did it. We still had a little group of friends in the military that we hooked up with. That was from, SoCal and from other places. And that was the only thing that really kept us together was cars. When I went in the military. So, and that's how I met a lot of the guys and all that. It was actually through cars.
Got you. Now, where
That's,
you?
how, that's actually how we actually survived the military was from a group of friends and all that was being into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What was it like?
It was good because like it was kind of funny when I was in Faux Poke. We had all these cars and all that and everything, and it was pretty. Well, it kind of pretty funny now because we had the sergeant. Um, he was like, hey, he used to work for CID, which and he used to tell us, hey, they're watching you guys. They're thinking we're doing something illegal and all that. But all it was a bunch of group of friends, and we just hang out together, work on cars and all that and everything. So there was really nothing going on. We on the weekends, we go down to like um, Houston, down to Lake Charles, just to get away, Dallas and all that. So and that's how we really got through the military was because of that.
Yeah. Was it
Yeah.
was it a pretty rough time?
No, it was actually a great time. It was actually a great time. Yeah.
Nice. So after the how long were you in the military for?
I did 4 years active duty, and then I got out, and then I did another, 10, almost 12 years of reserve guard time.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So when you got back from the military, did you end up back in San Diego or?
Yeah. Well, I joined the guard, and I got deployed. Got deployed to Afghanistan. And as soon as I got back from Afghanistan, I I went and worked as a sheriff deputy
Hmm.
for a year, and then I don't know. It was just we didn't I had a great time. It was great, but it was something that was it's not what I wanted to do. It was always everything always drew back to like working on cars. So I kind of resigned, and then I moved back to California in 2007.
Hmm.
I moved back to 2007, and then when I got to California, like literally like 6 months later, they deployed me again, and then I deployed. I came back, and then I was pretty much like, you know what? California is not the same like when I grew up, and the traffic and all that. So I was like, you know, trying to buy a house for half a mil,
Yeah.
or find something down here, in Florida where I'm living at for 150 for the same kind of house, next, and plus there's no traffic and stuff like that. It's nice here. So I was like, you know what? I'm going back to California. I mean to Florida.
Now, did you already have a family in Florida, or what made it Florida your destination?
Well, my wife's family is all from here, and
Got
then
it.
all my still in San Diego. I mean, we still go there. I go there at least two to three times a year, just to visit and all that everything. So I still got friends there and all that. So I'm constantly down there. I miss it. I mean, it's a great place to go visit and stuff like that. You know, but it's
Yeah.
just not the same when I'm growing up because the law and all that things changed so much.
Now, when you were a sheriff, did you ever have to deal with pulling anybody over in cars or for racing or anything like that?
No, they actually got pulled in. Like they actually, the lieutenant and all that. Because I used to have a right hand drive
Mm-hmm.
Civic, and when I went through the academy and all that, the lieutenant actually called me in the office. He was like, "Hey, you're not one of these street racers, are you? This man." And it was funny. I was like, "Nah, that was back in the days. It's like, I just something that I love doing. So, and that's why I kind of like, like I said, it was a fun time and all that, but it was just wasn't for me.
Yeah. So you had a
Yeah,
right-hand drive Civic.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What kind of
It was,
Civic was
uh,
it?
it was an it was a EG coupe
Got you.
with the ITR front.
With the ITR front.
Yeah, it looked really really sharp, like the body work. It was actually done in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Very cool, man. So what ended up happening to that car?
well when I moved back to California in 2007, I didn't want to take it with me because I know all the laws and I
Yeah.
got so I was like, you know what? I got rid of it. I got rid of it, and then I moved back.
Got you. So let's
And that was
fast.
like,
Uh,
yeah, that was when I moved back. Yeah, I didn't
got
want
you.
to do.
So let's fast forward a little bit. You get to Florida. You decide that this is going to be your new home base. What is your whole plan about life in Florida? What are you going to do once you get there?
Um, well, when I came back here, it was really it was really like we opened up a little shop. It was just to work on our cars because I didn't want to work in my garage and all that. So we worked, me and a couple friends and all that, everything. And I was actually gonna go take on some contract jobs and stuff like that. Just trying to get some to support the family and all that. And I was gonna do it on the side, just uh, do the car thing on the side. But then and then a friend kind of needed help and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay and open up a shop with him and do all that. So I kind of like stayed and I kind of knew something was gonna make something out of it
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't really want to turn wrench. Um, I wanted to make parts. I wanted to make stuff, but it wasn't. I just didn't have like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew it was there. So and that's why I never left. Even though you know working, making paycheck to paycheck, just to pay for the shop, just to pay for the mortgages and that and everything. I was fine with that. I was happy. I was happy.
Yeah.
And that's all that mattered. And then I just kept stuck with it. And then in 2007, 2000, yeah, 2007, and I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh wow.
2006, 2007, I was diagnosed with cancer. I kind of like gave everything up, and then we moved into a smaller place just to put our stuff and all that. And I kind of went and got my treatment for bone marrow and stuff like that, bone marrow transplant, chemo and all that. I did all that, and so I pretty much held it off for a year.
Yeah.
And after that year, I came back. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go back, but so I was like, you know what? I don't want to be turning the wrench that much. What I'll do is because I still had a lot of people that trusted me and stuff like that to work on their cars. So I was like, well, what I could do is, basically work on, brakes and stuff like that. Just, do one or two cars a day and that's it, you know. So I went and bought a trailer, one of those with a lift on it.
Yeah.
So I pretty much took everything that I had as far as money. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go buy this and I'll just, you know, do brakes at people's work, you know. So as soon as I went and we got the trailer, we got it. I was gonna do it, and then that's when pretty much someone, when I did the all wheel stuff, someone said I couldn't do it. So, and that's where the whole thing began. And I figured it out and all that, and I post something up on my personal page, and all these people shared it, and people hit me up and all that. And next thing you know, and that's where the whole start. And.
Wow, man, that's a
Yeah,
beautiful story, man. Just a story of just not giving up, man. Not
yeah,
giving up
exactly.
and just knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I love it.
Yeah, and that was like another thing too. And when I was going through cancer, um, I wasn't expected to live. They only gave me a 10% chance. So,
Oh my
and
god.
I went from 175 pounds to like 125 pounds in 3 weeks.
God.
So, and I think that's what made it a little bit easier for me when I did this. It's like, hey, I went through that. This is nothing. Like if someone else could do it, why can't I do it? I always tell people that
Yeah.
in the model. Like, hey, if you could do it, you could do it. There's nothing that you can't do that someone else can't do.
Bro, that's deep, man. Definitely. So when
Yeah.
they gave you this 10% chance, what did that do to your spirit?
I mean, I always been, I've been a fighter and stuff like that. So, I was more about my family, about not so much myself. I was pretty much at peace with myself.
Mhm.
I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, you know, growing up, in the military. I seen some stuff that I wouldn't wish on anybody, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Man.
So I mean, like, it's hard because when people look at me, it's they don't know what I've been through, and that's why I always tell people like, don't judge anybody because you don't know that person,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's what makes it, like you would never think like, that's why some of these people tell me some story just and I'll listen to their story and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
Man, I love it, brother.
yeah.
So when you ended up opening up the shop, was it did you call it S1 off the bat or
Well, it was really when we first did it. No, it was we first did it. We called it Battle Group 3.
okay.
The shop. We call it Battle Group 3 because battle means, like in the military, means buddy, like group to friend. Hey, battle. That's what we call each other. Battles. So, and then the Group 3 is basically, we were gonna have like three groups. Like first, we were gonna be like the street. Like the street and cars and stuff. The street cars. Then you got the show cars, and then the other one will be like the products and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it was just something was like it was people were saying that's too aggressive, battle group. I'm thinking that people doesn't understand it. They're thinking that it's kind of like an attack and all that.
Mm.
So I had to tone it down a little bit. I was like, you know what, we'll just call it S1 build. S1. It's simple.
Yeah.
So
Now,
we
all right, guys, we got to take a quick break to pay some bills and shout out our sponsor, Heel Toe Auto. An important part in buying Honda parts online is making sure that you can trust the company that you're dealing with to get you the right parts reliably. You're spending a lot of money and you spend a lot of time researching your build. The last thing that you want to do is send cash to a website where you may never see it again, and worse yet, see the parts. With Heel Toe Automotive, an 18-year history and track record is part of the deal. Heel Toe brings you deep industry connections, professionalism, part recommendations, alternative ideas when your parts aren't available, and will even contact you if something on your order is out of the ordinary before shipping your stuff. I always talk about it, guys. They have a profile. You can make your own profile on heeltoeauto.com, and it'll have all your information for the build or whatever the car you're working on. And they'll make sure that if the parts that you ordered are going to work for the car that's on your profile. Really, really cool what they're offering over at Heel Toe. You can buy parts online anywhere, but Heel Toe knows what truly matters to an enthusiast: professionalism, swiftness, and accuracy. Heel Toe is in your corner. Visit HeelToeAuto.com or on Instagram at Heel Toe Automotive, or you can call them or text them. You know what, guys? I ask you right now, just shoot them a text while we're on commercial. Text them at 949-295-1668 and tell them that you heard them on Downtime with Downstar. Back to the show. Now tell me the background on the name again.
the name, the S1 is actually my name. My name is Sone, Sone. So S1 is actually Sone, S1.
That's
Yeah,
so clever, man. I love it.
yeah,
Very cool. So,
yeah. It's funny because the 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 how I came out with it was when I was in the military. We used to make like privates and stuff like that. We used to do all this, play these games, and um, so you used to have this private used to come up and say, hey, hey, Sone Sengthong, you know, um, because the chief would actually send them to my section and all that, said looking for an ST1. It's like, hey, go to Sone Sengthong and find and give me an ST1, and guys would come up and we're like, hey, son, like I'm looking for an ST1, and you can see the guys in the back just laughing, just laughing. I'm like, okay, I got you. So I will send them like go like to the next section, this and that, and by the time they find out what an ST1 is, they're like, oh, okay, now I feel kind of stupid, ST, and then one is O&E, so they're out looking for a stone. So I was like, you know what, that's pretty, dope. So
oh man, I love it, dude.
uh,
So when you guys are working on the shop, is it just any type of vehicles? Is it just imports? Is it just Hondas? What are you guys working on?
we started off with just we worked on pretty much anything, pretty anything and all that. But my true passion was Honda because I did work for I did work for Honda and Acura, as a technician and stuff like that. But I did it. I just like I don't know. It was something that got to me. I seen an old lady, basically in her in her
I think the video. Oh, there we go.
yeah,
You're
you got
good.
it.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
yeah. So
now the video's gone
oh,
again.
there you go.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. So yeah, I seen like an old lady, and I was working there, and seen this old. She's probably like 70 years old. She had this '92 Honda Accord. Thing had like 16,000 miles on it. That thing was like immaculate, and takes it in, and they gave her an estimate. Well, not an estimate. They did, the whole thing, the recommendation. It came up to like $3,000. It's just recommendation. And she thought that something was wrong with the car, and she just literally cried, like, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
And I was from that day, I was like, no, I can't do this, and that's when I quit. I was like, nah, it's not for me. I can't, so I couldn't justify, the way live
Wow.
like, and that's the reason why I really quit the dealership. I was
That's the second time that I've heard that type of story on the podcast as of late.
all right.
Yeah, somebody that worked as a technician, and then the work that they had to do, it was just, it was unethical.
Yeah, it wasn't even me, but it was just like another technician next to me, and I was trying to tell the ladies, like, you don't need it, you don't need it, and it's just but in her eyes, hey, you give her the list of stuff, she thinks there's something wrong with the car, especially
Definitely.
old, you know. So and then it's just really really like I went home, I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So and that's what it all began for me, and then we opened the shop and all that.
Yeah, and then you started doing the all-wheel drive kit. So tell me about that bet again. You decided
It
to do
was,
the.
yeah,
It was a challenge.
it was, yeah. Well, someone said I couldn't do it, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that I cannot stand. Is someone tell me I can't do it or it can't be done, this and that. Because if you think about it hard enough, there's got to be a way. You know, if someone's doing it this way, there's got to be a way. You might have to tweak this, you might have to do it, but there's got to be a way. And that was one thing that they always taught me in the military. There's find a way. About
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
so
definitely.
yeah. So, and I did it. Actually, here, this is the actual piece. I'll show you.
Okay.
I
Cool.
kept this is the actual piece.
Oh wow.
So you know what this is, right?
Yeah.
This is the actually rear hub.
Uh huh.
So you see the four bolts,
Uh huh.
and then you got the spindle that comes out here, and then the hub goes on it. So all I did was I was like I looked at it. I was like I kept looking. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna machine this hole out. I'll make a hub for it, and then I did that, the carrier bearing, for the carrier for the bearings, and I did that. And I put the hubs on it. I was like, wow. And then I used this for this hole here, but I found out that with these holes here, you can only use like a certain axles
Mm-hmm.
because it will hit the bolts. So that's why we was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and develop our own hubs. So it'll fix 5 lugs, 4x114 and all that. And that's why we came up with our own hubs.
Got you. So when you did this first car, you posted it
So
online.
this is what really started everything. Was
Got it.
that?
So when you finished this first build, then you put it online and you just started getting a lot of inquiries about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People just hit me up and all that. People were sharing, and I was like, okay, you know what, we might be onto something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it, and then, the wife really kind of pushed it, and I kind of talked to her. I said, hey, look, what do you want to do? Do you want to just spend everything? Because I just like I said, I spent everything on medical and all that. I wasn't working for like almost a year and a half because of the cancer and all that. I came back. We pretty much everything, credit card, everything just sunk
Shit.
into this company. So, and then we just went from there. We're still growing.
Yeah. So when did you, after you had the initial install versus when you had a product for sale, how long was the gap in that?
That was at least almost like a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a year because it was hard because the hardest thing was money for us because, like I said, we don't have that kind of capital just to dump this is and that. Most of the stuff they anybody that wants anything done for us is a lot of money. So we just had to make a few here or there, had to ship it out, and then use whatever we make to fund the next thing, and it kept going, kept going. So we were living. It was crazy, and it's
Yeah.
still what we're trying to do. So, if I was rich and all that, this whole thing would have been crazy already. There's so much product out there that we have in our head that's really going to help out the Honda community. And that was like the biggest thing too um, was when I first did it. But someone was telling me it was costing them, $15,000 to $25,000 to do an all-wheel drive kit, and my jaw just dropped. I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, there's no way I would even get close to that." So, I took a challenge. I was trying to make it affordable, real affordable, this and that. But it kind of bit me in the butt because you know what happens when you try to help out the community and all that and everything. People's gonna talk crap about you.
Yeah.
People are gonna say it's a crap product, this and that, not knowing anything about you, what you're trying to do, this and that, So, and like I said, money is not a big thing, because like I said, as long as the bill gets paid, this and that, and I can spend time with the family, friends, and all that. That's the biggest thing because life is more important, to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely, man.
yeah,
It's that's one thing about this Honda community is that there's a lot of negativity that surrounds it,
yeah,
and usually
yes,
when a new business comes around,
yes,
they're not welcomed with open arms. They're attacked if they have an idea that somebody's already done. Somebody's
yeah,
already done an all-wheel drive car. Why are you coming out? Like, well,
yeah,
there's definitely a lot of different options that can be out there. You know?
exactly. Yep, and the cost too. You know what? If you could break down the cost in half, and everybody can enjoy it, and like I said, it's like if I was worried so much more about money, I wouldn't be making these parts.
Yeah.
Not especially, because the same parts I could make for Hondas, I could make probably 10 times as much doing Lambo parts,
Yep.
doing Supras, Skylines, and all that. I mean, but people don't understand that, and I know we get attacked all the time. People are just trying to find stuff on us, but I tell them, man, don't pay attention. Don't pay attention. Don't feed into it, because at the end of the day, who really cares? We don't care as long as we take care of our customer. That's the biggest thing because the customer should be the number one priority.
Mm-hmm.
Your customer and the employees here should. That's my number one priority. Everybody else that's talking crap, I really don't care. That's why we don't go back and forth, this and that. People want to know our stuff. There's no need to.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely. Especially if you're confident in your product, there's no reason to even have to
yeah,
diss anybody else because then that
yeah,
makes you feel like, or it makes you come off as that you're not confident in your product, and you're watching what somebody else is doing, trying to follow them because you're not confident what you could bring to the table. But it doesn't seem like that's the issue with you.
yeah, yeah. No, these guys here, like maybe that's why even the guys here, they want to say something else, like no, leave it alone. So,
Yeah.
they trying to do it to protect me, but in reality, I'm just trying to tell them, no, I'm happy. I'm happy with life. I'm happy with how things are. You just like you're not gonna please everybody.
Yeah.
You're not, no matter what you do. You give someone $1,000, they're gonna come back. How come you didn't give me 10,000? So I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. So, maybe attacking it from a different end, a positive end. Since there is a
yeah.
few other companies out there that are making all-wheel drive kits, what company
Mhm.
do you see that's doing it? You know, something that you like, something they're doing good stuff for the community.
Let me. You talk about like all-wheel drives.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of company. Oh, well, not. I'll take that back. The company that's doing it right now, I think it's great. I think it's great that they're doing it, this and that. And I think this is how I feel. Okay, if we all work together,
Yeah.
enough, let's say customers, that everybody could make money, everybody could be, helping out the Honda community, this and that. And believe me, there's text messages, this and that, and everything. I could be the one and just bash everybody, this and that, but I choose not to. There's so many things but I just choose not to. I keep it, just simple.
Yeah.
It's too simple. There's no need to get stressed over some stuff that's this person said, this person. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
can you still see me?
No.
Hold on, let me see. How did I?
Probably just got to go back to the app.
Uh,
Maybe just
let's see.
no worries, man. Yeah, I definitely get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm still here, but something happened with this. I don't even know where it's at now. Let's see. It's
No
somewhere
worries.
here. Skype, right?
Skype problems, guys.
Shortcut. Oh man.
No worries, man.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. One
Yeah.
second. I'm trying to find where her Skype's at. Oh, here it goes. Let's go back.
All right, 1 second.
Okay. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
There we go. 30
What
seconds.
happened?
No worries. Let me just put a timestamp. All right, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great companies. There's some great companies out there that's doing good things and all that. And there's more. And I like it where there's more companies developing other things. Thinking outside the box and all
Yeah.
that. So I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I just don't like how people are just going on just bashing other people, this and that. Just like you said, that's the only thing I don't like about the Honda community. But that's not everybody. That's
Yeah.
not. We went on this cruise, up the East Coast, and we made some amazing people, and that's what we trying to do, and to show our product, to meet the customers, to meet shops, just to say, hey, thank you, like we do appreciate it, we want people to call us and ask us questions and all that, because to me, like they need to know, okay, this is the reason why we do things differently from other people.
Mm-hmm.
This, that. But there's so, like you said, there's so many ways of doing it, and there's a reason why we're doing it our way, and all that and everything. So.
All right, guys, we got to take another break for our sponsor, Action Clutch. For one of the most critical parts for any build is the clutch. Without a proper clutch, you won't be able to get that power to the wheels. No one wants to spend hundreds of dollars on a clutch that won't hold their power for more than a few races or spirited drives. That's why it's important to go with a kit that you know that you can count on, and that's why most people trust Action Clutch over the competition. Action Clutch makes all their kits here in the USA with materials sourced locally in Los Angeles. They have kits to replace OEM replacement clutches all the way up to 1200 horsepower, man. And if you're a street car, drag racing, or even Formula Drift, they got you covered. Not only are they made in the US, but they are also making a strong focus this year to give back a percentage of sales to communities during these hard times, providing impacted families with groceries and other necessities. I love companies in our community giving back to the community and helping out where they came from. Big shout out to Action Clutch for that one, man. Contact Action Clutch today with whatever you need, and they will give you the family treatment. You can check them out at actionclutch.com or on Instagram at actionclutch. And if you don't see what you need, give them a call, 323-269-6051. Or you can email them at sales@actionclutch.com. One exciting thing right now, guys, is Action Clutch just did give us a coupon code for 15% off the entire website. So if you guys need anything from actionclutch.com, make sure you use checkout code DTWD and get hooked up. Now let's get back to the pod. Yeah, I love it, man. I was going to ask about that tour. I saw you guys on tour. So how was that? What kind of shops did you stop at?
It was awesome. It was awesome. Like really, really like the guys here, man. They're still talking about it. I was like, man, I can't believe it. We actually did it, and it was the most. I mean, it was the best thing that I done.
Mm-hmm.
To me, just one of those good feeling. Meeting customers and being and these guys are welcoming us and all that and everything. And you know, we when we did it, we just got on the bus and hey, you know what? We can decide to just to visit this shop and then to visit this customer. And then when we started going, all these customers and shops started hitting us up like, hey, since you're here, come by. I mean, we wish we could have planned it out a little bit better, but because we were running like boom, 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 boom. But it was a great, great, great time, and all the people that we met and all that was so welcoming.
Yeah.
And and it was great. It was great. I mean, we definitely going. We're gonna try to do like maybe 2 or 3 times. Take a break, especially keep these guys here out of the shop and all that. To me, like I said, that's one thing that we always want to do. We always want to give back. We always want to give back. Um, to the community and all that, and show people that hey, we're not like, we're not this company. We're just gonna take your money and say, hey, screw you. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you, man. So I see you got the H Day plaque back there. You went to go visit the guys at H Day on the trip, right?
Yeah, yeah. I actually met you at H Day. You don't remember though.
No, in Orlando.
No, not in Orlando.
Uh huh.
In North Carolina, the first one.
Really?
You guys were right behind us.
That for no way. It was the
Yeah,
S1 booth.
it wasn't an S1 booth. What happened was we brought that green EK hatch
Uh,
with the white bay.
hmm.
It was a completely white bay, and it was looks pretty much soft. It had a cage and all that. The whole it was all white, the engine bay, but it was kind of like the FJ green.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were like right behind you, and I went up and talked to you for a little bit, but you guys don't remember.
Very cool, man. Man,
It,
at those times we were doing probably like at least 10 to 15 shows a year.
yeah, yeah,
Pretty much even up to last year, man.
yeah.
I wish there was some kind of pills or something that I could take to give me a better memory, dude. But the older I get, should I forget what I did this past weekend? You know?
Trust me, I know what you mean. Yeah, you guys were busy. You guys were busy because we weren't supposed to park there. We're the first day we were parking, below,
Yeah,
and then they told us to come and park on top.
yeah,
Yeah. So and we drove. Yeah, we went all the way up there. Yeah, we were in Orlando also.
yeah. That's where that's from, right? The plaque.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, this one here was from Orlando. You remember there was a 4-door EG? It was
Hmm.
a 4-door. Um, no, it was
No.
purple. It was purple.
Maybe if I see it. The only thing I remember from that day is it started raining like crazy at the end.
Yeah, I actually was one of the guys that got the key.
Oh no way!
I was like the fifth guy, and the guy behind me was the one that got the car.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Man, that's always so exciting at H Day when they do the car giveaways.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I'm trying to convince Javier to
Yeah,
do like all-wheel drive that I was willing to do it. One of their giveaway cars. So we're talking about it.
awesome, man. Did you get to see
Hopefully.
his all wheel drive EF, the goat?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I think we.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Speaking of road trips, it was like maybe 2 years ago or so. They actually drove from the East Coast all the way out here for the IBOC meet in that car.
yeah, I saw that. I
That was
saw
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, we're trying to set up something, maybe some with some shops and all that, and something like I said, I want to go and you know back to SoCal and maybe just meet a few shops, maybe link up with some customers and all that, and just have a good time and all that. And that's where we're trying to set up and to maybe trying to catch a show or something that goes on there.
Yeah.
it's coming, pretty soon. So
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what the future looks like. As of now, I'm not making any plans until at least after the election. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I haven't done anything this year. The last thing that we've done
I see.
was auto salon in January. That was that was the last trip I went on. But other than
You hear
that,
me?
yeah, I got you. We haven't been to
Oh,
any shows, man.
oh, okay. Yeah. We're gonna try to, and maybe we're trying to do maybe something with like, because I feel like the East Coast, the West Coast is kind of like a little behind on the all-wheel drive stuff.
Uh huh.
And I went down there and then just, and talking to some of the people, this and that. And I really, really want to get, that's my hometown. So I really want to see, more of all-wheel drive cars in SoCal and just California in general.
Yeah.
Arizona and stuff like that. And that's, I think I'm going to try to push, maybe go down there and maybe help out with a few cars and all that, everything. If someone's some of these shops are willing to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe work with some shops and all that and everything because um, I kind of like that kind of stuff.
All right, guys, let's take one more break for our sponsor, Manscaped. Support for Downtime with Downstar is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, like the Lawnmower 3.0, 7,000 RPMs, 90-minute battery life, and look at this. This is not a LED, it's a HID. This is super bright, guys. But this actually did come in handy earlier today. I probably should have sanitized it, but I did have to trim down some of this pube hair that I have on my face. Had to get cleaned up for this podcast, and the Lawnmower 3.0 definitely did help out with that. And then when I get home, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some of this ball deodorant on because it's been a long day. Been sitting here doing pods. Balls aren't the most fresh, and I don't want to take a shower when I get home. So I'll probably put on some of this ball deodorant and then just a little spritzer of this ball toner, probably on my neck or on my wrist or something like that. I'm sure it has a good scent for everything. And keep on keeping on like Joe Dierte. But if you guys want to get hooked up at Manscaped, you know what I do recommend is getting one of these packages that, man, it comes with so much cool stuff. It even comes with a newspaper, so you can read the newspaper in the morning with a cup of coffee, like your old pappy used to do. And it comes with a little a carrying case right here. This is pretty sick. You can put all your Manscaped stuff in here, and you even got your shirt too. Everybody's gonna know that, hey, you got some clean balls, and if you end up pulling a broad from the club that's not open, she'll see that you mean business before she pulls them down. You got the Manscaped chonies on. But make sure you guys check out manscaped.com, and if you need something to get fresh, use checkout code DTWD for 20% off plus free shipping. Back to the show. Very cool, man. So speaking of the S1 kits, what makes the S1 all-wheel drive kit different from the other ones in the market?
Um, it's a little bit. First of all, it's a little bit cheaper, and then most kid out there, this and that is, like our profit margin is not. It's not that much. By the time that I pay for everything, this and that, and some of these people are like, I don't know why you do it for. But
Yeah.
it's just love, that, and some of the stuff that we design and stuff like that is, like, for example, these new Alpha arms and all that, everything.
Wow.
They're much, they're easier to do. First off, for us now, um, because of trying to find those OEM trailing arms and then having to drill it out, having to cut it, weld it. It takes a while. It takes a while. People don't understand that. Fab works takes a while. So, and that's why we developed this. And once we developed this, I was like, you know what? Since we're making it our own, what can we do to improve on it?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we gave it extra clearance for bigger wheels and all that and everything. We did what do you call it for the center row? We did it, stronger. It's like 3 times as stronger than the OEM. To me, it's like it doesn't make sense to I got to find a better way because when I was at the junkyard, sweating trying to pull this thing out because it's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be a better way. So that's why we sat down and we designed it, and it's like, all right, we got it. So now, and that's why we developed this. So it's easier, and then we were trying to cut the cost down also
Yeah.
for customer and all that. In reality, it might be more. It might seem like it's more, but in reality, it's less because you have to buy less parts. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, the RTA bushings, the these bushings here, they're included already. In the with the kit.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
But on the other one, even though you're spending $1,000, that's another $300 more you got to spend. So in reality, you're spending more money. But people don't understand that. So
Got you. Have you ever timed the install, like what it takes to install one of your kits?
we could do it. We could do it in a day.
Got you.
Us personally could do it in a day. If we all, I mean, it's easy. It's really easy, and I tell customers that all the time. But some of them, they don't have access to like a welder and all that. There's not that much welding. It's all this is I recommend welding it. We get a lot of customers asking, hey, what about the bolt-on? What about the bolt-on? I personally do not recommend any bolt-on kit
Mm.
because we've seen those things rip apart because of the diff it wants to push up, and we actually seen thing go bad. And one of the things and I always tell them, you know what, weld it. It's peace of mind. You
Yeah.
know, you start making 8,000 to 9,000 horsepower, those things will rip right off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is that why you made on your kit for the brace for the subframe? You have the little arms that go up to the top of the chassis.
that's to reinforce the frame itself. But that's not where even the weak points are at.
Mm-hmm.
We found out the weak point is the front bar. So
Mm.
now in ours now, that's why we recommend welding onto the side. And what we have now is a bar going up to the body. So every time we said, hey, brace it up, because what happened is we actually seen those bars in the front actually bend up this way.
Oh shoot.
About an inch and a half bar actually bend. So imagine that thing is bolted down. That thing's gonna rip right apart. And
Yeah.
and um, those nuts and people use, I don't recommend using that at all. Weld it. Those you've seen how thin those frame rails and all that. They're real thin. I would recommend putting a piece of thick bar on there and then weld it and then weld a bar on across.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, what do you recommend as far as the diff itself and the viscous coupler? Do you recommend getting all that stuff rebuilt before you even do your build?
It just all depends on. For me, it's on how much budget and all that people have. People always asking me they want the wagon, the wagon, the wagon. The wagons, there's some expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Those are extremely. I remember getting those things for like $200-300 back in the day. Now they're talking about you could buy a whole K-swap car for some of what they're asking for.
Yeah.
So we found out that the CRV element diff worked just as great. They work just as great,
Huh.
painted and welded, and we're actually in development right now. We're developing something right now where I think it's really going to help out the all-wheel drive, especially the Hondas. We're working on making the CRV diff and all that, stronger, and we're going to be making our own viscous coupler to go with it. So
Got you.
we're going to try to shave the weight down, like maybe 50, 60 pounds on the drive line. So it's in the work right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really give you the whole, thing, but it's going to be, I think it's really going to change the whole all-wheel drive thing when it's all done. We're going to test it out. We're going to test it out on a J to K car.
Got you. Ooh, J to K. That's awesome.
Yeah, the J to K all-wheel drive. It's going to be J to K all-wheel drive. So,
Wow.
and yeah.
Very cool, man. So say if somebody wanted to go with one of your kits, and they pay for it right now, what's your usual turnaround time on it?
We usually have everything in stock. The only thing that we don't stock right now because there's so many chassis and this and that is we don't have the diff mount. That usually takes about 1 to 3 days for us to make. It all depends on when they order it. If they order it like the night the night, we could usually have it out like made by the next day or something. Maybe like that's why I said 1 or 3 days. But everything else, the arms and this and that, we used to have that in stock. We could have those. Like we're pretty much caught up. Before in the beginning, it was like 2 3 weeks turnaround because, like I said, it was hard building those arms. We were getting so many orders, and it was like trying to find those arms, and they kept coming in, coming in, coming in. I was like, wow. So, um, but like the cast arm, we have the cast arms. We have the cast arm in stock. We got a bunch of those in stock and all that and everything. And um, even the cast arms, they're super strong, super light. I know. I'll say it. You'd be the first to know. So I know there was a bunch of stone thrown at us because of the cast arm,
Hmm.
but people didn't really know what the truth was about what really happened to that, and we we didn't really come out. We took the blame and all that, but that's not what really happened. It wasn't. It didn't break the way that we said it did, and it was something else. It was in the arms. Put it this way.
Got you. So you had somebody that had the kit and something went wrong and you automatically got blamed for it?
Yeah, well, we took the blame. We took the blame. We took the heat because we thought that's what it was. And then after I got the arms back 3 months later, we inspected. We saw a video of it um, where it supposedly broke and it didn't break. And then there was someone online that said something that hey, it wasn't caused by that. It was something else. But we left it alone because we didn't want to, like you know what, because we sold like 200 of those arms, and none of it. That was the first one, and even our customer was like, "No, there's something more to it,"
Yeah.
and we didn't want to be those companies like, "Hey, you know what? No, it's you. We took the blame." So,
Yeah. Which is
so
great, man. It's great for you to take the high road on that, and it's
yeah,
extremely hard. Back in the day, I wouldn't take the high road on it, and I would just go in the mud with them, and we would no, it wasn't my fault. It was you, this and that. But nowadays, it's like, all right, whatever.
yeah,
If you
we made it up. We send two extra arms, a bunch of stuff just so they could go racing again and all that and everything. But the truth never came out, and we just left it alone. That's all it was.
yeah,
It's no big deal.
I feel you, man. So,
Yeah.
as far as marketing wise, what do you use most for marketing? What do you think's works best?
I think IG. IG is probably the best. Um, and I'm the only one because we got like marketing, uh, different people does different thing and all that. But IG itself, I'm the one that monitors that IG.
Got you.
Someone really wanted to talk to me about technical this and that would go through like IG and stuff like that. Anything else would be the other guys here. Um, so, and that's why when they ask about merchandises and that, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
Someone there that. So the wife and the guys here, they do all that stuff.
that's cool, man. How is it working with your wife?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Very
It's awesome.
cool.
You know, um, it's it's just like um, she does her thing, I do my thing, and it makes it that much easier because we could talk about it when we get home and stuff like that. So, and if I don't need to be here, she could be here, vice versa. So
Yeah,
it's yeah,
I love it,
we
man.
come out here and help, and all our friends and all that they come by to help out. So, and that's one thing that we're blessed. We're blessed because all the people here.
Hmm.
I know people always talk about, like, oh, the crew, this and that, and I think that's what the biggest thing about S1 is having the guys here. Without these guys, it wouldn't be us. I
Yeah,
could I could think of all this stuff here, but without these guys, the wife, the friends, and all that to help out, we wouldn't be here.
how do you show them appreciation and keep the morale up at the shop?
Oh, I do. I always tell them that I appreciate them, and we always do things together, and we show each other love. It's we have this own group of chat that we always, we we chat pretty much almost every day, and everybody is just, just like one big happy family.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go on trips together. So, which like I said, we're trying to get to the point where basically, S1 will fund everything, the trips and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to worry about money, don't have to worry about that. We just go and just have a good time. And that's
Yeah.
what it's. And it's more than just work. I want this to be more like a mentor thing, like life, because there's more to it than just work.
Yeah. Man, awesome, dude. So, but besides all-wheel drive stuff, are you planning on coming out with anything else?
Um, we thought about it. We thought about it. I got but I don't know yet. To be honest with you, there's a couple stuff that I'm working on to help some friends with and all that and everything. But as far as this, I think we're gonna stick with the all-wheel drive. We were thinking about, no one really knows, but I was thinking about maybe doing some development for the military. Do some contract. Because that's where my other heart's at.
Yeah.
Helping, um, with the military. So, with the brothers and sisters in arms.
Yeah. Dude, I love it, bro. So, in if everything keeps going how it's going now successfully, where do you want to see the shop in a few years?
We want to definitely, we need a bigger shop. We didn't, we're only in what 1,500 square feet right now, and we're doing everything out of it. Everybody's walking on top of each other, but like I said, but it's homey. But it's just the parking spot and all that. We're limited to what we could do because
Yeah.
here it rains. Like it rains every day basically. So there's a certain cars when it rains we can't do nothing. Everything because we can't push something out with these cars. So that's like the biggest thing that we're trying to do right now is to get a bigger shop for the guys here. For these guys to have their own office, they could have their own place for shipping, for storage, and all that. That's the biggest thing that we're trying to accomplish right now is that. But what I see is basically, you know, doing everything in house.
Yeah.
Doing all the machine work, doing all the development, all that, everything in house and all that instead of because that's what's really killing us right now is we would come up with a product, but we would have to wait for someone to machine stuff for us. We would have to wait for them to cut stuff, and people don't see that part of it. People thinking,
Definitely.
oh, okay, this is a product. Okay, they should have it out in 2 weeks. It doesn't go like that. So
Yeah. All right, guys, we got to take one more break for our sponsor, our newest sponsor, Aeromotive. We're so excited to have them part of the Downtime with Downstar team. Piecing together the fuel system for your build can be a difficult task. Luckily, Aeromotive has your back with everything from replacement fuel pumps to fuel systems that will support up to 3,000 horsepower for 3 cars. What are you talking? That's ridiculous, guys. Aeromotive's engineers have developed a solution for your build regardless of the power level. If you're looking to make a switch over to E85, they have every part you need to build the system that will be there when you need it the most. Need a custom fuel system for your daily that turned into a project car? No problem. And that's so funny because that happens all the time. Every time you get a new daily, hey, it turns into a new project car. But what can you say with the sickness of being an automotive enthusiast, man? But make sure you guys check out aeromotiveinc.com, and you can check out some of their newest products that they have, such as the brushless pump line. It's quieter pump, less heat, and it lasts longer than traditional brushless motor pumps. They range from the A1000 all the way up to 10 gallons per minute for 3,000 plus horsepower cars. Once again, I don't have anything that crazy, but if you do, good for you, man. That is awesome. Let me drive it, please. Something that would be more towards our style would be the Stealth 340, which is the top selling pump, and that holds about 700 horsepower for EFI setups or 1,000 for a carburetor. Or if you have just a crazy build and you just want to go to them and say, hey guys, I need it all. They'll take care of you. They have the customization shop where they have a fuel system for any build. You just go check them out at the website and you could just build it up right there. And if you are part of a race team and in your downtime you want to get your parts, just downtime with Downstar, if you want to get your parts rebuilt and freshened up for the new season, they do have a rebuild program that, pro drifter Matt Field, he uses that. So if you use that, Matt Field uses that, you guys are like on the same page, and you could say like, hey, I use the same process that he uses for the rebuild program. So yeah, you probably drive the same way he does. I don't know, man, but make sure you check out aeromotiveinc.com and use checkout code DTWD for 10% off. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring the podcast, and huge shout out to you for listening to this podcast, man. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Well, you say you're in Clearwater, Florida, right?
Correct.
Got you. One of my favorite bands is from out there, Newfound Glory. You ever heard of them?
What is it?
Newfound Glory?
No.
It's like a pop punk band, but they're from Clearwater, Florida. But yeah, man. So glad to hear about the story, man. Like I've said, I always keep my ear to the streets, always looking at who's doing what, who's coming out with new things, and I've been seeing your stuff popping up every once in a while. And I want to give a big shout out to Instagram No Fucks Given 805. 85? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
No Fucks Given 85. He's the one that actually recommended me to the business, and he had a lot of great things to say about you, man. So your reputation goes farther than yourself, man.
Yeah. I was supposed to go visit him, but we ran out of time.
Yeah.
I told him next time we're gonna make it up to him because we weren't sleeping that,
Yeah.
So yeah, there were so many people we wanted to see. It was like right after we hit the road and all that, we started getting all these messages and all that. It was hard, and we tried our best to see, like along the route and all that. We went out of our way, maybe a few hours to go see shops, customer, but it was great. It was great. So yeah, definitely. I talk to him on Instagram all the time and all that and everything. Yeah, great guys, bunch of great guys. I really, and that's like another thing too. When I was saying earlier about the Honda community, this and that, there is some great guys. That's I'm finding out, and that really support us and this and that, and that's what makes it a little bit easier. For us to do it, like I said, it's harsh, but just like everything in life, you got these guys that just, that's gonna talk down or always got a negative thing to say, and there's gonna be guys that's always gonna support you,
Yeah. No, definitely, man. And if you ever need anything from our side, please just let me know. I've ran the gauntlet with all that stuff in the last 10 years, and I finally got to a place of peace. The guys that are watching and that have negative things to say, it's their own issues that they're dealing with inside, and it just manifests to you getting attacked, or when they get home, their kids getting yelled at, or their significant other, they're fighting with them. These people, they're carrying so much weight on their shoulders, and they have so much negativity going on in their life. So when they see someone like yourself and a product that they might not like for some sort of reason, or they're on the other side, or whatever it is in their head, how they try to justify it, at the end of the day, that's their issue. That has nothing to do with you. So that's the way that I look at it now.
No, definitely, and that's another thing too. It's like we actually, ran to a few people that they don't notice that I actually see everything that goes on. I see everything that goes on. I'm real observant with certain things, but I just don't go out there and say this and that. And there's been times when they're dogging us this and that, and when they actually meet us this and that, their whole demeanor change and all that. So it's like, you can't judge someone just because you don't know them, So
yeah,
we don't hold grudges. We don't hold that. We still, even if anybody that would talk down on us, this and that, they need help with anything, we're willing to help out. We really are willing to help out, even other companies, this and that. I was really looking forward when we first started to work with other companies that's doing it, but, things just didn't work out, because it's like, okay, you can only get, talked about so much. So he's just like, I don't pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah, I feel you,
Yeah.
man. Well, I mean, this is one of the benefits of having the podcast is that, you see a name, you see a company, you see a product, but you don't really know who it is or who's behind it until you have these kind of sit downs and you hear the stories and you hear that, you're a cancer survivor, you're a veteran, ex-police. It's like you're not just some guy that's coming in the industry just trying to take money and leave, and that's one thing that I could definitely appreciate.
Yeah. No, that was the biggest thing is my whole, thing is like, I want to be treated, you know, I'm going to treat them how I want to be treated.
Yeah, definitely.
If they want a follow up on what's going on, we're going to give it to them. We're going to tell them, hey, this is what's going on, this and that. There's no need to lie about, shopping people around, this and that. But sometimes it's out of our control, a lot, because when you get other company involved, you should know that that's making some of the stuff for you, that's machining the stuff for you, because you're trying to get to that level where you could actually make your stuff, and it's hard, when they're telling you, okay, it's going to be done this Thursday, and then a week, 2 weeks
Yeah.
later, they don't have it. It's kind of hard, and customer thinks that you're lying to them, but for the most part, we're doing good. A lot of customers being really, really, appreciative, because we keep in contact with them, this and that, and if we don't do something right, we make it up to them. We
Yeah.
definitely we give them breaks and all that and everything. Like I said, it's not all about money, because the way I look at it, even though we don't make money off this person, but the person that he tells his friend, 5 or 10 other people that will make money off, or you dog this person, let's say you make $100 off this person, but he goes tell his friend, you know what, you got to do it for the long run.
Yeah,
You got to
definitely.
long run, and that's always been my motto. Don't do things for the short term gain. You might make $1,000 today, but in the long run, you might not make nothing. I might make $50 today, $50 tomorrow, in a month from now, it might be $4 or $5,000. So in the long run, you always work for the long run.
Yeah. Son, I love it, man. So before we get out of here, is there a car that you're excited to see the build finish that's using your all-wheel drive kit that maybe some people listening can go check out?
Oh man, there's pretty much all of them. I mean, like I'm so excited. Like I can't even keep up with some of these customers that sends me their photos, and I'm hoping a lot of them will keep sending it to me, because when I see it, I get excited. I really
Yeah.
do, and and even some people that don't use our product, and I like to give out pointers that I see and help out, and stuff like that. But there's so many cars out there that's like that I'm really really excited to see, and and one of them is my car.
Yeah.
Hey, because the reason I'm so excited because we're trying to do this J to K, and I'll let you know. We're
Yeah.
making a bell housing. We're
Okay.
making a bell housing for a J to K.
Oh, wow.
We're testing it on a TL, and it's a TL, and no one's really gonna expect it, from a TL, from a big body. This thing is gonna weigh like nothing, because we're taking the whole back end off, and we're gonna put our all-wheel drive system on it, and we're gonna shave like literally like 200 pounds just by putting our kit on it. So
Sick.
okay, and then we want to test it out. We want to test out our viscous coupler with our CRV diff upgrade. So there's a few things that we're working on. So and then all the customers out there that we've been in contact with, that's building it. I'm kind of like real excited to see some of their builds. So every time when they send me videos, they tag me on some stuff, I get really excited, and I was like a little kid. So.
Hell yeah. I love it, man. All right, Sam, before we get out of here, if somebody wants to check out what you're doing or actually order something, where can they find you at?
They can find us on www.s1build.com.
S1built.com. Just all one word, S1built?
Yeah, S1Build. Yeah, one word.
Okay.
And that's our website. But most of the time, we post up on our IG and our Facebook. under S1 Built.
Got it. Awesome, man. Hey, Son, thank you so much for your support, man. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your time. And, I'm excited to see what comes out of the camp, man. I like what I see so far, and I wish you the best.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for what you do, man. Really, really for
Thank you, brother.
the community and all that. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I've been following you for quite a while. I've seen some great things.
Thank you, man. Hell
So
yeah.
just keep it up. Keep it up what you're doing, man. That's
Awesome.
like I say. And anybody that's listening, this and that, everything, if you got an idea, man, run with it. That's all I gotta say. Run with it, and don't quit. And you thinking that, hey, if something that's like seemed like a block, man, just go around it. Just keep going. That's one thing. And if anybody needs help with anything, they could always contact me personally, because that's what I'm all about. Helping other people.
Yeah.
Or they want to, they want help with certain things and all that and everything. So just
That's what's up, man. Son, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
All right. Hey, thank you, man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Downtime with Downstar. Please make sure that you guys check out S1 Built on Instagram at S1 Built. A huge shout out to Son, and I look forward to seeing what they come up with. And then big shout out to our sponsors, Heel Toe Automotive. Make sure you guys check them out on Instagram at Heel Toe Automotive, or their website, heeltoeauto.com. And then we got Action Clutch. Action Clutch actually just hooked us up with a code, man. So if you guys need anything from them, just use code DTWD for 15% off anything that they have on their website, which is actionclutch.com, or Instagram at Action Clutch. And once again, if you guys want to get hooked up at Manscaped, just go to manscaped.com, get you one of these Lawnmower 3.0s. Make sure you check out code DTWD for 20% off and free shipping. Thank you guys for listening. Please let a friend know if you guys do enjoy the podcast. Once again, this is Downtime with Downstar, episode 208, and we're out. Peace.